even matters what's about to happen for these 4 quarters or more. Everything we want is still right here. You gotta go take it.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Before the season, we didn't expect the Las Vegas Raiders to be 1-3 at this point. Isn't it funny how happy we are they're 1-3 now? The Raiders lost their first 3 games by 5, 6, and 2 points. What's crazy is quarterback Derek Carr lost the first game with 3 interceptions. Hunter Renfrow lost game 2 with a fumble at the end, and Darren Waller lost game 3 dropping 2 TD passes, one of them getting intercepted. The Raiders are still trying to get it together, particularly on offense, and they will. And in week 4 they beat the Denver Broncos because they figured out a few things about themselves. Guys like Carr, Renfrow, and Waller aren't going to keep losing games for the Raiders, and they've just established a way they can win no one really expected coming into this season. Next, they play the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City on Monday night, and they have more to game plan for than they did at any point this season. If they can get the win, they can celebrate the best 2-3 start they ever got off to over the bye week. The race in the AFC West would tighten up too. Alright, let's start with the obvious. Max Crosby, who is now one of the most dominant defensive players in the NFL. If you run at him, it's going to get stuffed. And if you run away from him, it's going to get run down from behind for a loss. Crosby's first in the league in tackles for a loss, and I believe he had 4 of them against the Broncos. While rushing the passer, if he can't get all the way to the quarterback, he can bat a pass down. But he puts mad heat on the quarterback. He's tied for 6th in pressures, and his pressures lead to interceptions and incompletions. They also lead to sacks a good portion of the time. He's tied for 5th in the league in those. He took over the Bronco game, and the Broncos didn't help matters by thinking he would fall for play fakes like this. One guy I hope we can hurry up and get off of concussion protocol is middle linebacker Denzel Perryman. All he does is come downhill and make tackles. He can go sideline to sideline and fill holes between the tackles. The Raiders have a top 10 run defense due in large part to Perryman. And if you try him on the screen, he's going to sniff that thing out, and you know the rest. He's also having a good year in coverage after having an off year in coverage last year. I really hope he's back Monday, but if not, Divine Diablo can handle run stuffing duties. All he does is come downhill and make tackles too. The Raiders need him to be a little bit better in coverage though. You're going to love this secondary when Rock Ya-Sin gets back. Amik Robertson is becoming a solid 3rd corner. The Bronco game didn't start out very well as he tripped on this one. And he locked Jerry Jeudy up most of that day. And most of the passes that were caught in this area didn't go far. Oh, and that little guy's physical too. Oh. Now I wonder if he's starting to become a ball magnet. He had an interception in week 2 against the Arizona Cardinals, and he collected this fumble against the Broncos. And you know what he did with it? I've been waiting a long time for the Raiders to have an opportunistic defense. Then you have Nate Hobbs, who's already emerging into one of the top corners in the NFL. And he does more than just cover. He's a good blitzer, as you see there. And he will come up and tackle in the run game. In man coverage, he's allowed a 50% completion percentage with a 63 quarterback rating. His coverage is sticky. He's good in press man, off man, and zone. Here he is in off man. And the denial. Let's take another look from another angle. Nope, can't let you do that. Here he is in off man again. He's going to get a good break on the ball and the catch will not be allowed. The Raiders have a defense that can keep him in games now. On offense, after allowing him to be taken away for a couple of games, the Raiders are throwing the ball to Davante Adams again. Look at that separation. Adams knows his man is getting help over the top, so he has to hurry up and beat his man on short to intermediate routes, then try to get what he can after the catch. Here's a short out route staying away from that safety. Here's a little something darn near out of the backfield to let him go with it after the catch. Then there's the fade, something Carr and Adams are good at. There's no time for the safety to get over and try to help with that. Now that Carr and Adams have their fade chemistry together, I want to see them do it more in the red zone. Carr hasn't been as good on his deep balls so far this year, but he has shown some pocket presence on them. Those are going to connect eventually, but in the meanwhile, this is something he can be doing. When it's hot in that pocket, go ahead and run. When you do that, you can move the chains and help your team win even when you're not having the greatest day throwing the ball. You gotta have it just in time on that one. It's gonna be a big game. The last time we saw this version of Derek Carr was against the Dallas Cowboys in down the stretch last year. Carr shouldn't wait till the Raiders lose a bunch of games in a row to start running. Oh, he did throw a couple of dimes against the Broncos though. That touch and accuracy is still there. He just has to get it timed out with his receivers more consistently. Then there's running back Josh Jacobs, who I've been pounding for the Raiders to give the ball to since the season started. That vision that bursts through the hole is on point. Now watch this. Okay, nice cutback. Then this is going to be crazy here. He's going to spin into a hole, break a tackle, and be out the gate. That's some Barry Sanders type of stuff right there. Except Barry runs away from that guy. That's okay. He doesn't have to be Barry Sanders fast. He's got power. Look at this. He has a nose for the goal line, and you can't knock him off his feet once he smells it. Jacobs had 144 yards and 2 touchdowns on 28 carries on the day. And he also had 31 yards receiving. Until all the other kinks are worked out on the Raider offense, they need to feed Jacobs and feed Adams. Everyone else can get in where they fit in. And Carr, could you please give us more of this and take less sacks? On defense, we already know what Crosby's going to do. And while we'll see what happens with Perriman and the linebackers, the secondary is improving and getting opportunistic. The Raiders are starting to find themselves. Thank you for watching. See you next time.